as the MK, what are your expectations of tonight?
Look, good day, and let me also say good day to your listeners. Our expectation tonight is that we have elected leaders based on the constitution of the ANC. We have got our own policies. We are an organization that is leading the country. So our expectation is to adhere to the tradition of the ANC in ensuring that our society and our people in general, as well as our structures, we are in line, in tune, and in keeping in ensuring that South Africa becomes that home that all of us as the people of this country must enjoy. And we're also expecting that the decision of the highest body, that is the conference, must be adhered to by our members through the leadership of the African National Congress, NEC. That's our expectation tonight.
Now, Tata, you speak about structure. Let's talk about the function of Umkhonto weSizwe.
Look, we have a role that we have played as Umkhonto weSizwe. We are a nucleus of a people's army, of a people's, or as an army of deliberation, ANC-led alliance. We played our role in ensuring that we execute the mandate as given to us by the African National Congress in various disciplines, as armed cadres, as agitators, as politicians doing political work, as underground structures. We made sure that we execute all those tasks that were given to us. We even manned international forums for the movement as deployment across the globe. Now we are home. We went to school through the efforts of the African National Congress in the military discipline, in the intelligence discipline, and also in political discipline and security element. We have got all those skills, and we believe that the ANC need those skills in order to ensure that it becomes a very strong organization that cannot be infiltrated, that its security structures are strong and healthy, that its branches and structures are politicized and conscientized in the discipline of the ANC, so that we should not suffer, the ANC should not suffer lack of knowledge and political consciousness within its structures. So that's the skill we command. And all those can be done within and along the structures of the movement, not outside. We can't express our views and our will contrary to the policies and the decision of the NEC of the ANC. We must always be in line and in tune. We can't, as structures of MK, participate at the level of leadership wrangles of the African National Congress. At best, we must be at the level of those structures to build the level of unity and discipline, because that's our character. That's how we were nurtured as Umkhonto weSizwe. Anything else is not us.
Tata, MK, though, has had its own challenges with unity and disagreements in the ranks.
And I'm sure you'll understand that's how the ANC is hard at work to ensure that it must bring all the cadres of MK under one roof and make sure that we adhere to the discipline of how we must conduct ourselves. And if there's any challenges that MK is faced with that we are bewitched with today, is to ensure that we move away from participating in tendencies that are un-ANC, tendencies that are un-us in terms of our discipline and our training. We are really hard at work to ensure that we eliminate such tendencies that might have an element of disunity in and amongst the structures of MK as well as that of the ANC. At best, we should be the torchbearers of unity. We should be the pioneers in ensuring that the ANC is what our people are expecting it to be. Because ANC in itself, it's a property of the people of this country. Anything else is not ANC.
Now, according to the ANC Deputy Secretary General, unity will be high on the agenda this evening. What words would you advise regarding that glue that is required to cement the party?
For starters, we have got our constitution, we have got our policies, we have got resolutions that come from the highest body, the conference. All those are principles that any leader elected must ensure. And we're not expecting that when leadership works around policies of the movement, when leadership works around resolutions of the movement, they must be like stoics in arriving at an answer. But we're expecting as MK that when the leadership sit down and decide, it must be in keeping and in line and in tune in ensuring that the resolutions of the Conference of the African National Congress are adhered to, the policies of the ANC are adhered to, and the constitution of the ANC is implemented to the latter. That's what we expect. In fact, this is our expectation because we are sick and tired of mischief makers and fortune seekers who have come, join the ANC, and begin to treat the ANC as something else that our people and our structures, as well as our policies, do not know. The kind of the conduct that we see lately, we are calling upon the NEC to really ensure that we get rid of those tendencies once and for all, because we can no longer wait to attend to the will of the people as mandated by the people of this country and as the ANC's policies demand of us.
Nthatisi, one of the things that's high on the agenda of many South Africans is the land issue. There are a couple of comments that I'd like to draw your attention to that we received on Facebook. First says, land issue and bond houses aren't worth the price we are paying. They must give us land to build or reduce standard prices. That come from Mulundi, Israel. And I think we have one more. Andile Mankule says the resolutions of the National Conference, especially the expropriation of land without compensation and the establishment of a state bank, is something that's high on his agenda. Tata, what are your thoughts on those comments?
Look, let me start by saying much has been done by the ANC-led government in attending to the interest of the people of this country. We cannot sit here and pretend there hasn't been enormous changes that we can point and refer to. Much still has to be done, and amongst other things is the issue of land and the issue of the resolutions as this, the issues that we have raised are part of the National Conference resolution. And I know that the NEC of the ANC, it's hard at work in ensuring that we implement some of these issues. What I must warn, though, is that for this resolution to be implemented, the ANC-led government must ensure that we follow policies and we follow systems and we follow the discipline of how decisions must be arrived at, because our country, it's not what we would actually refer to as people who do as they wish. We must follow the constitution of the country. We must follow the discipline of how legislations are arrived at. We must ensure that when a decision is taken, it does not only favor a particular section of the society, but we carry along all racial groups and all dissenting voices along with us. And I want to hail the government of the ANC for making all those considerations each time they arrive at a decision. I know that we are desperate at realizing certain deliveries, but we invite even those people who hold particular opinions and views to come forward and stop pointing fingers and criticizing. Indeed, I know that one of the critical aspects that must be attended to is the issue of land, but I would invite the discipline of dealing with that problem.
So as my last question to you, Tata, is what is there for young people that the ANC can offer?
Look, any organization, any country that does not pay attention to its youth or young people, it is doomed to fail. So I would appeal from all the structures of the ANC, and in fact from all the structures of the society, to begin to pay attention in empowering the youth of this country. You know, there is a natural law that says the new will always rise and take over from the old as a matter of must. But that law is not as difficult and as straightforward as we are saying it. It also invites from the new to learn from the old in order to make sure that they inherit all the good things that was done from the old. But I must also warn, the new must learn to know that the old will not give in willy-nilly. So there has to be, an assimilation of ideas and understanding. But I would invite the youth to also busy themselves in making sure that they know what the future holds. Because hoping to just do for people who are not putting their mind as to what the future holds and how they can work for their tomorrow today, it's another futile exercise. So indeed, I also invite that as the president will be addressing us, the issue of the youth in particular, in terms of employment, in terms of capacity building, in terms of education and versatility, must be high on the agenda.
Tata Nthatisi, thank you so much for speaking to us this afternoon.